Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my 22 Days of Funnel Hacking series. Today is day 14, the webinar funnel. So let's just fire up the Funnel Hackers Cookbook and take a look. The webinar funnel. What type of funnel is it? It's an event funnel. It's 4 pages and takes about an hour to build. And pages include webinar registration, webinar confirmation, indoctrination page, replay page. Alright, let's go through the directions. The webinar funnel gives the entrepreneur more time to close potential customers at a higher price point, as most webinars are at least 1 hour long, and gives more time to address the false beliefs of customers. Webinar funnels are an event and are broken into 2 phases. During the first phase, visitors register for a seat to attend and hear success stories to increase curiosity. Unlike the auto webinar funnel, this live version is usually hosted on a third-party software like GoToWebinar, Zoom, etc. During the second phase, visitors attend the live webinar and watch replays while the window to buy begins to close, creating the true scarcity, and urgency. To learn more on how to create webinar that sells, read my book Expert Secrets, and it shows you slide by slide what to say to sell any product or service. You can get my free copy at expertsecrets.com. And I will attest to that. Expert Secrets is a fantastic book, especially if you want to learn how to write copy. It is a slam dunk, motherfuckers. Alright, let's take a look at some of the examples on how you would use this in your business. So I sell professional services, and I'm a coach slash consultant. So I'd use the webinar funnel to sell my mid-price info product. So what is that for me? Like my funnel hacker workshop. I do a funnel hacker workshop every month. It's a $50 deposit. I sell the replay for $97, and it's just fucking awesome. I love it. It's once a month, and the webinar funnel. I don't use the exact webinar funnel, but I use the same sequence where I give them the opportunity to sign in, opt into my webinar, and then on the back end I use GoToWebinar and send them a registration link, and GoToWebinar takes over and does the rest. So, but if I was selling my professional service, use this funnel to sell my services on a recurring basis at a discount. I tell my customers the event is coming up and ask them to fill out a survey about their biggest challenges with my industry. The webinar would be sure to hit their collective challenges. So that'll be like I do my weekly funnel hacker or funnel Fridays. So basically I go in and review a funnel and tell you, here's the goals of the funnel, if you're hitting it, if you're missing it, what you need to add, what you need to take away, etc., etc. So that's something where I can send it out to my audience and say, for 1 hour every Friday, bring your funnel, I'll critique it live, and we'll make this shit happen. I could use this funnel to build that out, something for my funnel Fridays. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual recipe. So we got the webinar registration. So you can see here you got your logo, you got your features, pricing, order now. Those are from your menu buttons. You can get it to go to each section of the page. Your images, so it's just a 2-column. Your headline. See, this is what I love so much about the Funnel Hacker Cookbook, because at the beginning of the book, it goes over all these elements, right? So it tells you about all the ingredients, how you'd use them in each page, all the content blocks. So and you read all this shit first before you get to the funnel recipes, obviously. So if you read through the beginning of the book, by the time you get here and you're building out your funnel, you know what all these elements are for, what they do, the purpose of using them in your business, etc., etc. Alright, so first page of the funnel, webinar registration. Second page, confirm the registration. Third page, indoctrination pages. So here, confirm your seat. And then your webinar replay. This is like after your webinar happens, you're going to email them. See, the automation and follow-up is a huge thing. So you want to set up automated sequences where before, you're before it goes to your event, you're sending them links to these funnels like, here, confirm your seat, make sure you're coming, and that keeps their attention, and it's going to boost the appearance rate. It's going to boost how many people actually show up. Because I actually have a lot of people register for my workshop, but not a whole lot of people actually show up to my workshop. So this is a strategy I might put into place just to test it out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Automation, follow-up funnels, and then looks like you would just auto script a replay, so after the webinar is done, you can tell them, hey, come purchase the replay of the webinar, keep that going forever, baby. So let's dig into the cookbook and build it out and see how easy it is to build out a webinar funnel. Alright, so what type of funnel is it? Let's check the cookbook. It is an event funnel, so there's 4 types of funnels, and ClickFunnels has them listed out here on the left, super easy. So you're just going to select create an event. Boom, webinar funnel. Oh, motherfucker. And then on every single page, of course, you got Russell telling you what the funnel does and what it's for. So let's check it out.
No matter where you are today in your business and in your life, you're just one funnel away. This is a webinar registration funnel. Now, the one thing about webinar registration funnel is that this typically is working with some type of third-party service, like GoToWebinar, Webinar Jam, or Zoom. What happens is they come to the first page, they register for the webinar. When they do that, ClickFunnels actually push that registration into the webinar service that you use. From there, you're taken to a webinar confirmation page. We then click on registering for the webinar. You can sell them another product or service if you wanted to. And that's kind of the basics of the funnel. After that, we like to send out at least 3 different indoctrination emails, indoctrinate them on why they should use your product or your service, why they should be on the webinar. Usually the email goes out and pushes them to a page, an indoctrination page, so I'll have a video on there. It's training them and indoctrinating them on you and your product and your service. Usually day 1, they'll get this one, day 2, day 3. And then if you want, after you do the live webinar and go to Webinar or Webinar Jam or wherever you do it, you can take that video presentation and put it onto a replay room, and in the sequence you can then tell people to watch the replay here on the replay room. And this is how a webinar registration funnel works. If you want to learn more about the strategy behind this and how you can use this out of your business, be sure to check out the Funnel Hacker Cookbook. No matter where you are today in your business and in your life.
Fucking love it. It's awesome. Alright, so you got your free themes down here. So what the themes do is they set the default colors and fonts and things like that. You have your pro themes down here. These are premium themes that developers have actually gone in, optimized, converted, tested. They're awesome themes. You can get them on the marketplace. So let's just pick one of these themes, and it'll give you a snapshot of, boom, what each page looks like. So you just click funnel, and it will import into your backend. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Alright, so boom, we got each page. So what I like to do first and foremost is set the page names of every page. You do that by clicking the gear. Page name, this is what it's going to appear like in the back end. End users aren't going to see that. Path would be what you see after the web or the web page. So if you go to like Big Marv's workshop, for example, you can see the path is free funnel hacker workshop. So you put whatever your webinar is. So like if I was doing business hacker, I'd put business hacker registration, and then you set your date and time. When's the event happening? So I have a webinar this Saturday, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick that. God damn it, a bubble in my throat. Hold on. Yeah. Solid now. Update page. And then once you do that, hold on, let me grab this name. Boom, we're going to copy this. Go to publishing. Set that motherfucker there. And then you're going to go into settings of the funnel itself and set the first page. Boom. And then this name, this is what it's going to look like in the back end of your ClickFunnels dashboard. So this would be like Business Hacker Workshop or webinar. There we go. And then you scroll down and save and update settings. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, once you do that, you're going to go through and set each page, obviously. Just click on Edit Page to start building the pages out. Alright, so it's a and the ClickFunnels builder is a drag and drop builder. It's super nice. It separates it by sections, which are the green. Sections are what house the rows in each page. So if you see, like, this is a 2-column row, so you can have stuff on the left and stuff on the right. Where this is a 1-column row where it's just stuff centered in the middle of that row, while this is a 4-column row, so there's 4 different individual columns where you can put information. Okay, and then inside of those rows, of course, are the actual elements. So the elements are the actual piece of information on the page. So your headline, your videos, the input inbox for your email address, the button, these pictures, the text, everything. Those are all different element types, and you can drag and drop. So you wanted this element, you just drag it over, boom. And you click on the element, the settings pop up on the right hand side, and you can just modify them there. If you want to duplicate this element, you just simply clone it. Because what I like to do is, like, if you use multiple buttons on a funnel, then you'd want to clone this button multiple times rather than get it dialed in, get it looking perfect, and then have to recreate it all over again. So you'd clone it, and if you didn't want it, you just hover over it, hit the trash can, delete, goodbye, motherfucker. Alright, and then when you're done, you just go ahead and click save. Let me show you a couple more settings though. Under the settings menu, you can see integrations. Integrations, that's going to be, you know, your integration here. So whenever you integrate your GoToWebinar or Webinar Jam or Zoom or whatever you happen to be using, it'll come up in the integration drop-down menu here. You can add them to the list or add them to the webinar there. And then you'd save that page, and they would automatically be added. Inside there also, hold on, I want to show you guys a couple more things. Inside there also you have SEO metadata. This is the information that you have on Google. So when you go to share your page or something, for example on Facebook, if I were to go to bigmarvworkshop.com, boom, so you can see this is the metadata that I have saved in my funnel, so that automatically comes up. We have your tracking code, that's for like Facebook analytics. If you have the pixel, you want your header code to be here, and your events, you want them to be on the secondary pages. So like if you have the event registered, then you'd put the registration confirmation in the footer code on the second page, webinar confirmation. Because in the pixel, you have your pixel code itself, and then you have to install the events. So the events, you never want them on your landing page. You want them on whatever page triggers that event. So if the event is complete registration, then you want to put that event code in the footer on whatever page that action triggers. So they're not registering when they get to your landing page. They're literally just looking at it. So you wouldn't want the event there. You'd want the event on the following page. Same thing goes for like lead. You wouldn't want to put lead on the landing page because it's not a lead until you get their information. So if you have the lead event on your landing page, then you're going to be getting false leads in the back end, thinking you have leads when you really don't. Okay, so webinar confirmation is going to be the same thing. All of these are editable, so you just literally click on it. You can modify it. It's all drag and drop. The settings just pop up on the right. So you just literally click it, add your content in, you're good to go. That's why if you want to gauge about how long it takes, they give you an hour here, because like if you had your pictures, your video, the text, your copy, everything good to go that you wanted to put in your funnel, it would only take you about an hour to actually build the funnel out. And then your indoctrination pages, these are the pages where you're going to be writing your email follow-up. So this is the pages that like you want to tell them why they want to come to your workshop, etc. and reconfirm your seat here. You can go to GoToWebinar or Webinar Jam or whatever you have, and make sure you share the registration link. So you just set action and then put your registration link in there, and that would let them confirm their seat. And but you just record this video, come up with a headline, you modify this, and then put your own logo there. Or I've also had success not having a logo there, because if most of your audience is on the mobile phone, then they're just loading a logo on their screen. They're just not going to scroll past it. So sometimes you can get rid of the logo altogether and just go right into your headline. So the indoctrination pages are like things that you're going to be giving them to entice them to actually come into your webinar. All three of them are designed the same way. Video, headline, headline with a button to actually confirm their seat for your registration. And then the replay room, that's where you're going to put your webinar recording so they can come back and just watch the video. So you can host your recording somewhere, put it in here. Then they can come in and watch it. So you can like unlist it on YouTube or put it in Vimeo, however you want to host it. But you put it here, and then you can set a timer. You literally put an end date. So if you want these webinars to end on a certain day, then you can set that there. And then now people have it. I don't know why I added card is on here, but anyways. I mean, that's pretty much it for building that funnel. The key thing is going to be building the automation, getting your content together. Building the funnel itself is fairly simple, and reading the Funnel Hacker's Cookbook makes it even simpler, because you get to wrap your head around the elements and the purpose of all of them. So when you start beginning to think of like, what headline am I going to use, what subheadline am I going to use, what video am I going to use, what content am I going to put there, if you read this book ahead of time, especially Expert Secrets, if you read the book ahead of time, then you'll really be able to wrap your head around the theory and why we're doing this, or why you're designing it that way. So whenever you think of your business, those ideas and those thoughts will come naturally to you. Anyways, this is Big Marv on 22 Days of Funnel Hacking. Thank you guys for tuning in. One love.